I go out yesterday, I come home after dinner, I come home around 11 o'clock or so, and of course I turn on my YouTube and I see that it's the recap for Palantir, and I see Amit, and I see Chris, and I see Dom, and I see, I believe the other gentleman's name is Matt. Shout out to all of them, and they're doing a great job. And I come in at the part where Chris is saying, listen, Palantir is calling out all of these little insignificant partnerships, specifically with Beckett, right? Beckett is a card collector, card authenticator, and grader for collectibles. And I'll go into it in just a moment, including reading the article. And I think Chris is not understanding the point of what Palantir is trying to do. And I think this comes across to a lot of people that don't understand the point of what Palantir is trying to do with SPACs. So let me try to break it down from my own point of view and what I think my personal thesis is. I could be right, I could be wrong. This is how I think. Before I go any further, I respect Chris. I'm not trying to be rude. He's cool. We have a bet going. So if something comes off with animosity, it's not that. I'm just trying to give you guys some juicy information. So let's move forward. Palantir has a software, AI data analytics. Palantir says that they can process the most amount of data points and give you preemptive theory, preemptive thinking. Now, it's not about the biggest Fortune 500 companies, which they also have huge companies, but it's about making people see that their software works across many different fields. Palantir has over 50 different industries that they touch with their Palantir Foundry software. I'm gonna read you this article in just a moment, but for you guys to understand why it's so vital that Palantir is getting involved with Beckett. Beckett essentially takes your cards, they grade your cards, they trade your cards, but around last year in September, just about a year ago, they introduced something called the Beckett Vault and Beckett Collectibles. What exactly is that? You take your cards, you send it to Beckett. Beckett grades your cards, they put it into a secure vault, and they give you an NFT. They mint you an NFT, non-fungible token of your cards, okay? Can you imagine how many millions of cards there are gonna be in this vault? How many millions of NFTs need to be minted? And then Beckett is using something called Beyond Protocol that has their own way of doing a blockchain, their own way of tracking the NFTs, so on and so forth. Think about this, millions and millions and millions of data points that need to be tracked. Where's going, to what, to who, the grade, where, when, how much, depreciation, appreciation, so on and so forth. So not only are you gonna have to track data points of your own vault for everybody's actual physical property, you're gonna also have to track data points of NFTs like a digital vault. Now, Palantir does have a Palantir for crypto, Palantir for blockchain, like Foundry for blockchain, something like that. It's on their website. And nobody understood why Palantir has that, right? There was a lot of speculation. Well, this is exactly the mother effing reason why Palantir has Palantir for crypto, Foundry for blockchain. Exactly this, to track data points on the blockchain. Not everybody can do that. Yes, you have some blockchain investigators that can track down a specific case, right? Like CoffeeZilla does it fantastic, but not to track millions and millions of data points in real time. And that's what you need in order to run a business. So sometimes it's not the quality of the contract on the face service, but the quality of the actual contract. So it's not like, oh, wow, this is a massive contract with a big name, right? The quality, that's a quality contract. No, it's about the actual what the hell you're doing with your technology. This is something Snowflake cannot do, something C3 AI cannot do, and something that Datadog shit cannot do. Palantir is the only ones that can do it. So yes, sometimes it's not a flashy, ooh, ah moment, but you need to dig a little deeper into what this partnership with Beckett Collectibles actually is. You need to dig a little bit deeper that Beckett put out this new initiative of the Beckett Safe Vault a year ago, and that they're just about to launch it. You can literally sign up to it. And you got to dig a little deeper that they're doing a partnership with something called Beyond Protocol. So now they need to be able to track what Beyond Protocol is doing, right? Checks and balances. So you have many different corporations working together for an initiative to help sports fans, memorabilia, grading, stuff like that. Now, I don't know anything about sports. I don't know anything about collectibles like cards and things like that, but I do know blockchain, I do know NFT, and I do know about tracking data, right? Like, and thinking macro. This is a very huge contract, just like the initiative with the SPAC. It's not about investing in a SPAC. It's about giving your technology, giving Palantir Foundry to anybody that can use it across many different businesses, in many different fields, in many different ecosystems, and saying, listen, Palantir can get it done no matter what the F your industry is. No matter what you do, Palantir got your back. No matter what you're trying, whether it's something that's been done, something that's brand new, or something that will happen 10 years from now, Palantir got you. We can do everything. That's the whole point, to be as nimble as possible, to be as fluid as possible. This is literally a Bruce Lee story of water flows everywhere, right? Be like water. This is the situation right here. So I disagree with people that are saying, hey, Palantir is not getting those big contracts. You know, Palantir gets the huge contracts. People make fun of them. Why are you not slimming down? Palantir gets a contract that we don't know what it's worth, right? But probably a smaller contract, and people are like, well, why are you not getting the bigger contracts? It's like, it's pure idiotism right now. It's hilarious. And it's usually the Palantir trolls. And unfortunately right now, Chris is playing his role as the villain of Palantir. I love him. I know Chris is going to be buying Palantir once we get the NHS contract, and once it's announced a little bit later that we're going to be getting the Titan contract, or we won the prototype of the Titan contract. I know Chris is going to come back. That's a fact. Let me read you this article really fast, but it was very, very important for you guys to understand, and don't let anybody tell you any different. Think for yourself and think outside the box. It's not always what's at face value. Sometimes you got to dig deeper to understand what the heck is going on with the partnerships that Palantir is doing, and just to understand that Palantir can do amazing mother effing shit that a lot of other people cannot do. And sometimes you have to showcase this. You have to show this. And Palantir is literally bridging the gap between CeFi, Central Finance, which is the Beckett collectibles, so on and so forth, and DeFi, which is a protocol that allows you to mint these collectibles that's put into the vault via a smart contract on a blockchain protocol, which I'm probably going a lot deeper than most people want to go when it comes to crypto, because this is a stock channel. But if somebody does want to learn more about cryptocurrency or even real estate, I have links down below to my other two channels. Please support the channels. I give you guys a lot of information. These are all my personal plays. I don't just make shit up. I actually give you my own personal plays of what I'm personally doing in life. Thank you. Let me read this article. Palantir announces partnership with Beckett Collectibles. Beckett has already begun integrating legacy systems into Palantir Foundry, allowing customers to more rapidly and easily access decades of data about cards, comics, and other collectibles, as well as automating the process of grading and authentication. Beckett aims to eventually have the most comprehensive data set in the collectible space and the hobby community across comics, cards, VHS, and other assets. Foundry will serve, and this is very, very important, just listen to what I'm going to say. Foundry will serve as the back-end management platform for all collectibles on Beckett, from physical cards to NFTs. Physical cards to NFTs. Guys, do you understand how massive it is if Palantir can prove to society, if Palantir can prove to commercial business, if Palantir can prove to blockchains that Palantir is the shit and they can merge CeFi with DeFi? I pray for the day that Palantir works with my favorite cryptocurrency company, Algorand. I pray for that day there would be a perfect match, meshing CeFi with DeFi. But it's very, very important what they just said. Beckett, from physical cards to NFTs. Guys, don't sleep on what I just said. Do not sleep on what I just said. And despite on what you guys think that NFTs are just some like pixelated GIFs, there is so much more to NFTs, and actually utility to NFTs that goes far beyond just looking at a picture, which I'm not going to get into. But this is a massive undertaking that most people just don't understand. Already, Foundry data integration capabilities have successfully completed the migration of Beckett's vast historical data to a modern operating system, configuring to display real-time information. Beckett would also use Palantir software to build internal and end-user app for card digitization, digital tracking, and value assessment. Founded more than 30 years ago, Beckett Collectibles is a household name in collectible industry and possesses troves of information allowing to price, grade, and authenticate assets with the industry's leading accuracy and integrity. So besides for taking all of the data points that I just said of the grading, the storage, it's also bringing you to the digital age of NFTs. Again, you guys are not going to understand if you guys are not from the crypto background, but this is a massive undertaking. There's not too many companies that can bridge that gap, that can take CeFi, Central Finance, and bridge it to DeFi, decentralized finance. Not a lot of blockchains allow you to do that, and definitely, most certainly, not a lot of non-core blockchain, non-core crypto companies can do that, and Palantir is one of the few companies that actually could do that. Now think about it. If Palantir is going to do it with Beckett Collectibles, think about it. Just think about it, that most people are just not freaking understanding what can they do next for another company that wants to digify their entire company, right? If you are on the analog system right now, imagine how difficult the undertaking is for millions of data points to actually get into the NFT space. And not only get into the NFT space, but somehow merge the analog with the digital NFT, like the physical with the NFT. It's not that easy to do. And that's what people are missing with this partnership. And I think I'm in a very unique situation to understand this, because most people don't understand blockchain and crypto technology, and that's okay. That's why the Berg is here for you. And that's why I have 3 separate channels. And hopefully you guys are subscribing to all of my channels. And I quote, "Today, Beckett customers expect speed, reliability, and trust. And that's what Palantir Foundry offers," said Kanal Chopra, CEO of Beckett. And I quote, "We have an incredible wealth of data in our company, and with Palantir's help, we'll bring decades of data to our customers' fingertips in a way that's fast and secure." A back-end rebuild that might have taken 4 to 6 months took only 6 weeks thanks to Palantir Foundry. Now, let me explain to you what exactly happened. Beckett Collectibles. If you go just a little bit less, right here, let me ask you a question. This Beckett wallet, if you guys are used to DeFi, does this not look like a DeFi wallet? It does, right? So now preview Beckett Collect. Click on Beckett Collect. Welcome to Beckett Collect Beta. Explore an early iteration of Beckett Collect, a unified and simplified platform for card collectors. Now, this is the Beckett beta of what I was just talking about. Pioneering the frontier of digital and physical collectibles. And they're basically just telling you, hey, you're gonna upload everything and it's now gonna become an NFT. Now, let me explain to you where Palantir comes into place that a lot of people are just not noticing. And remember what Beckett said, something that takes 4 to 6 months took weeks with Palantir. Let me explain to you where this comes from. And I'm gonna go back 1 year. Introducing Beckett Vault, a brand new cutting-edge approach to trading collectibles backed by the industry's most trusted source. And then they explain why Vault, security, that they put all your stuff in security, digital enjoyment, manage all vaulted assets in one place with My Collection, view your items from the palm of your hand anywhere in the world with high-quality images of your cards, comics, and memorabilia. That's just an NFT. But now let's go back exactly 1 year from now, and you're gonna understand how vital Palantir was to making this happen. Check this out. Now, this is not active yet. This is not active. It's a beta. It's just starting. And the only reason it's starting is because of Palantir, because without Palantir, they were not able to do this. Check this out. This is an article that came out exactly a year ago, September 17th, 2021. Beckett entered the blockchain industry with Beyond Protocol. Beyond Protocol is the protocol that I was just telling you that's allowing you to mesh into digital art, right? And manage it. This happened a year ago, guys, a year ago. The famous card and collectible producer follows the examples of other magazine publishers, only this time in the world of sports. Fantastic. Beckett announces this exactly September 21st, 1 year ago. This entire time, they couldn't get the undertaking going. The reason why in this article, they literally said what would take 4 to 6 months, Palantir did in weeks, is why. They literally didn't use Palantir from the beginning. They could not accomplish what they wanted to do. They hired Palantir. Palantir fixed the shit that they've been going through for the last 6 months in a couple of weeks. Now, this is just my way of thinking it and dissecting and breaking everything down. But if you listen to what I'm saying and you follow the crumbs of information, then it makes sense what I just said. They literally announced this program a year ago. The program is still not off its feet, just the beta. Palantir announces this partnership with Beckett. Beckett announces the partnership with Palantir. Beckett then says Palantir allowed us to do what normally would take 4 to 6 months in a couple of weeks. Beckett got stuck. Palantir bailed them out because Palantir makes you that much more efficient by making you that much less inefficient. And that's the difference between Palantir, Snowflake, Datashit, and C3AI, and all the other so-called competitors. Palantir is an enterprise builder. Palantir is an empire builder, while the other ones just solve one piece of problem. Palantir literally rebuilt this entire system for Beckett Collectibles to be able to work with Beyond Protocol of meshing CeFi with DeFi. Only Palantir can do that. Somebody else would have maybe been able to track the vault. Somebody else might have been able to track the NFTs. Somebody else might have been able to track the gradable system of cards. But nobody, except for Palantir, was able to actually put everything together. And that's not my words. If you read what they just said, this is a fact of what happened. Guys, please give me the likes, the shares, subscribe. Chris, I love you, but I'm gonna win that $2,000 December 31st, 4 o'clock. I'm gonna win. Palantir is gonna out shellac Snow. The Berg is out.